Hello, KZ from interwebkaiju here. One thing I don't see very often is like kaiju-sized snakes. You know, on the channel we've done Thunder of the Gigantic Serpent and Kong 76. But that's basically it, unless you want to count like Manda or Reptilicus, but they're more serpents than snakes. But Straight Outta Compton does have a giant-sized snake with even some like military retaliation, so that's fun, I guess. Here's my review of Straight Outta Compton.
I do want to note that this movie was for Al Lucard's live stream Tubi Tuesday, and he was nice enough to let me use his intro for this video. The movie starts off with a snake on a plane reference and a snake falling from the skies to Compton. A Urkel parody takes an egg from it. The egg hatches to a tiny snake, and Urkel, I think his name in the movie is Burkle, uses a ray to make it grow, but hijinks occur and ultimately this causes the snake to grow at a rapid rate, which leads us to why I'm making a video on it. I know the setup may sound like a lot, but there's really not much here. A group of musicians want to make it big, Snake is on the loose, there's a crazy cop training a rookie, and this odd subplot about snake zombie type people, which is contracted by being bit by one. Again, it sounds like a bit much, but not a lot of time is spent on any of these, which is good for some and bad for others. Let's just go through them one by one, as each have their own pros and cons. Verkle is bad as a character at the start and end of the film, annoying mostly without being humorous. At one point he starts turning into a snake person, which is where he gets better. Makeup is actually pretty good, and I love the weird walk he does when he runs out of the police station. Also, he fucks the giant snake, which was unexpected and memorable. The main protagonists are a musical group consisting of 2 rappers, a DJ, and a hook singer. I absolutely love media following up-and-coming musicians. Tenacious D, Flight of the Conchords, Scott Pilgrim, School of Rock, even the recent Metal Lords. All phenomenal. But this is one of the biggest cons I have for Straight Outta Compton. It follows a musical group, but I just don't really like any of their music. It's not the genre, it's just the songs they made for the film I didn't really like. Much prefer the songs from the protagonists of like Leprechaun in the Hood. Let's talk about the snake itself. Especially when it is normal size, the CG was surprisingly well done. I was just expecting the budget for this film to be like less than a couple grand, so maybe that's where the surprise came from, since the budget was $28 million. I'll get into the non-snake production quality a little later, but we'll note there's still plenty of instances where the snake and other things look pretty bad. When he's large, it's fun. He doesn't eat as many people as I'd like, but I did enjoy some of the attack scenes. I love the visual of a giant snake wrapped around a building, and am very glad there's some military retaliation scenes which were actually decent. The other characters Straight Outta Compton follows is a crazy cop and the rookie he is training. The rookie never did anything for me, but the crazy cop, I hated him at the start, but boy did he grow on me. Him fist fighting the giant snake in the aisles of a convenience store was so good. The problem with these two is that they basically just do the cops are bad joke over and over again, which is a problem the movie has, not just with that joke. They do a lot of jokes repeatedly, like into the ground. They're not verbatim, but it's the same punchline, you know. Snake people, started by Verkle, where if you get bit by one, you turn into one, isn't really explored. It's kind of cool in general, but definitely feels out of place and half-baked. The makeup for these, especially the blood on the victims and the sets, were nice. Just more general thoughts, Straight Outta Compton is not great. A lot of the jokes are overdone, some are of questionable taste, and some are just annoying, but I audibly laughed at least a couple times, so there's that. Back to the production quality, also not great, but clearly above that level of film I was expecting. Acting has bad moments, and some bad actors, but mostly it's okay. I never had a problem with any lighting or camera work. I like the sound effects. Pinball waves his hands around a lot, and the movie over-exaggerates wind noises every time he does, which is pretty funny to me. The worst parts about this movie is that it starts rough with just a grating house party, and that the protagonists are a group of musicians, but their music isn't particularly good. Would only recommend if the footage sparks your interest, and sorry Alucard for getting this on your Tubi Tuesday show. It sounded like you liked this less than me. Anyways, thanks for watching.
We had a threesome with Tubi.